my friends, my name is Kim. I am the Child Development Specialist here at Lamp Early On, and today we're going to be talking all about self-help skills, what it is, why it's important, some strategies that you can easily implement at home, as well as some developmental milestones around self-help skills. So let's get started.
So what exactly are self-help skills, and why is it so important for your little one to develop these skills? Well, self-help skills are everyday skills and tasks that need to be undertaken to be ready to participate in life activities, which include dressing, eating, and many, many more that we will talk about in a second. They are also often referred to as activities of daily living. They are important because these are the first ways that our little ones develop the ability to plan and sequence task performance, organize necessary materials, and to develop refined physical, gross motor, fine motor control required to carry out these daily tasks. Also, a lot of these are important for school readiness. So we're going to get into the 4 different types of self-help skills, and they are self-feeding. The best way to build independent feeding skills for your little one is to encourage your little one to practice feeding themselves from infancy. So once your older infant is able to eat things like Cheerios or baby safe cereal, then you can start offering them those types of finger food where they can try and grab it themselves. Introduce a spoon and a fork and give your little one plenty of time to practice. So in infancy, obviously you're still going to have to feed them, but while you're feeding them, you can give them a spoon so that they can hold on to it while you feed them as well. Consider bowls that might attach to the table, child-sized utensils, and small cups with handles. For pouring, encourage your little one to try for themselves, but provide help and encouragement when needed so that they don't get too frustrated. Independent dressing. Encourage your little ones to dress themselves by providing minimal assistance. You can begin with older infants and toddlers by encouraging them to help pull off their socks and their shoes, pull up their pants after diapering, and helping them to get their arms through their sleeves. And we will talk a lot more about what to expect in different ages when it comes to self-help skills. Next is hygiene and toileting. So things like brushing hair, brushing their teeth, washing their hands are all a part of the hygiene. And we are going to talk a little bit more about toileting as well. But for the most part, encourage your little one to wash their hands after they toilet, or even after they are in their, you've changed their diapers, brushing their teeth for an amount of time, and we will get into how to help them with all of these things as well. Now, with toileting and toileting readiness, the key to learning when to toilet is when your little one is physically and emotionally ready. And this usually happens between 2 and 3 years of age, but they will definitely need to know how to be toilet trained properly, at least during the daytime, once they hit kindergarten, unless of course they have a medical reason. And of course you have to be patient and all this stuff too, but we're going to look more at signs of when your little one might be ready to move towards toilet training. So there are usually 6 very common signs, and your little one usually would display at least 2 of these 6 signs. So they show interest in using the toilet. They can obviously walk, sit down, and stand up by themselves independently. They are able to stay dry for at least 2 hours at a time while awake. They are able to wake up with a dry diaper after a nap. They are able to follow simple instructions. They hide when they're either peeing or doing number 2 in their diaper. And they use basic words to tell you when they need to go to the toilet. So those are some of the very common signs that you'll see your little one has. And usually they will display around 2 or more of those signs. And the last most common one is helping with daily chores, like picking up toys, setting tables, etc. So encourage children to help with daily chores and clean up early on. Give your toddlers responsibilities like picking up their toys, placing napkins on the table or utensils. Encourage your little one to begin clearing their own plates when they are old enough to carry them without dropping it. And when your little ones are involved with regular chores, starting before the age of 4, they tend to be a lot more independent in early adulthood than children without experiences of that. And like with all skills, there are building blocks that are necessary to develop self-help skills that they'll either need to have and or they will also develop as they do all of these self-help skills. So the first one is fine motor skills. So in terms of fine motor skills, they are going to need hand and finger strength in order to exert force or energy against resistance using their little hands and fingers. So for example, dressing themselves with the buttons, hair combing, cleaning, all of that as well. They'll also need to be able to control their hand and move stuff as well in a controlled manner, and that's all also with hand-eye coordination as well. The second one is language, and more specifically receptive and expressive language. So with receptive language, it is the ability that your little one can understand and comprehend what you're telling them to do in terms of self-help. And with expressive language, it is the use of language through speech, sign, or other forms of communication to communicate your little one's wants, needs, thoughts, and ideas. And these are all very important because then they'll be able to understand what you're trying to get them to do, but then they can also tell you how they want to get dressed, let's say, or what they want to eat, what utensils, and all of that stuff. The next building block that they will either develop or need to do some of these self-help skills are planning and sequencing. So most, if not all, of these self-help skills are multi-step tasks. So they need to be able to do that, and we will get more into how we can help our little ones do these multi-step tasks. And the last main building block necessary to develop self-help skills is the ability to manipulate objects. So your little ones need to be able to manipulate tools, including the ability to hold and move pencils, scissors with control, spoons, forks, chopsticks, and controlled use of everyday tools such as toothbrush, brushes as well. So what are some easy things that you can do at home with your little one to develop these self-help skills and to develop these building blocks? Well, the first thing is having a visual schedule like the one that is on here, and that involves the steps that are needed. So the one in this picture is a visual schedule of how to get dressed. And it looks like it's how to get dressed for the winter time. But there's a lot of these visual schedules out there. You can make them by taking photos of the items that they actually have around their house, or you can do it like this where they're just pictures, and there are a couple of links to these visual schedule boards if you want in the description box below, along with some other information as well about self-help skills. And these are great for those who might need a little bit more help or push with directions, especially if you find yourself having to repeat yourself multiple times in a very short period of time. And for the little ones who might not be able to read yet, then there's the pictures that accompany it. So I recommend these visual schedules to a lot of families and a lot of parents. You can do this with anything. You can do this with your own routine. You can do this for dressing. You can do this for toileting, feeding, all of that stuff. The next one is a reward chart for independent completions of tasks or the attempt at it in the early stages. So I know a lot of parents debate about this reward chart. Again, these are just some of the things that can help. You don't have to use all of them. Just use the ones that work best for you and your family. Now, the important thing about reward charts is that you don't take away the sticker or whatever you're using on your reward chart because you don't want to shame your child in all of this. So it's important, if you are going to use the reward chart, not to take away stuff from it. The next one is having a routine. So using the same routine or the same strategy each and every single time you complete the same task is very important, because as your little one is learning, they need that repetition. So if you switch up the routine or you switch up the strategy on them, then that can really confuse them and then set them back. So a very good example of this is a bedtime routine, especially if you're trying to get them to brush their teeth and wash their hands independently, or dress themselves as well. So maybe your routine looks like them going to the washroom or changing their diaper, and then you get them to wash their hands in a certain sequence, and then brush their teeth, and then change into their PJ. So that is a sequence that they might know if that is what you currently do, and you want to keep doing that same routine or that same strategy so that it's easier for them to pick up on these tasks independently. And we just touched upon it, but the next part is being consistent. Consistency is everything with your little one. When it comes to self-help skills, or in general when it comes to behavior and positive discipline as well, but consistency is the name of the game. You want to be consistent with the words and the signs that you are using to assist your little one, as well as keeping the instructions short and simple, especially if they are a little bit younger or this is a new skill or a new self-help skill that you are trying to teach them. We also briefly talked about this, but it's very important to break down self-help skills into smaller, more manageable steps, and supporting your little ones through each step of it so that in time they master the independence and the self-help skills so that they can do more for themselves. Having a timer to indicate how long they should do a certain activity or a self-help skill that they might not enjoy is very helpful. So a really good example of that is brushing their teeth. You can set a timer on your phone. If your little one is sensitive to noises, what you can do is you can set a timer on your phone, but mute the volume or the audio of that sound. So all it is just counting down without actually ringing an alarm at the end of it. if your little one is sensitive, because we can always tell them that they need to brush their teeth for a minute, but especially if they are younger than 4 or 5, then they might not understand what a minute actually looks like or that stretch of time. So it is very helpful to set a timer, at least at the beginning. And speaking of timers, allowing your child to have enough time to successfully, or at least to attempt to do these self-help skills without feeling rushed. That puts less stress on you. It puts less stress on your little one. For example, you can practice maybe getting dressed on the weekends if you're not going anywhere that morning, or at nighttime during their bedtime routine if they're getting dressed into pajamas. Then you can always work on that as well, because again, you're not rushed or pressed for time to go anywhere. Imaginative play is a great way to work on self-help skills, because through pretend play or imaginative play, that is really when your little one kind of absorbs and take what they have seen in their own world and they apply it through their play. So it's one of those great things that can not only work on their self-help skill, but you can really see what they've picked up in their world just by watching and observing you and your home environment, and how that can manifest through play. And almost in line with that, having them take care of others. So maybe allowing your child to brush your hair first before brushing their own. Sometimes it's easier for your little ones to do these self-help skills and tasks on others before they do it on themselves. So brushing your hair, or maybe if they have a doll, they can brush the doll's hair, they can brush the doll's teeth, they can undress and dress the doll if the clothes are removable. If you have pets, they can try and give your pets food if that is allowed, and all that stuff. So next we're going to get into the developmental milestones around self-help skills, so that you have a better sense of where your little one will be at. Now keep in mind that every child is unique, so your little one may hit these milestones a little bit earlier or a little bit later than some. But if you do have any concerns around this area, you can always either contact myself, and my contact information is always in the description box below, or you can talk to your healthcare provider as well. So at around 6 to 12 months, your little one should be able to reach for nearby objects, track objects with their eyes, and again, this is all important for when they do get a little bit older to do these self-help skills, because self-help skills heavily relies on hand-eye coordination, grip, fine motor skills, on all that stuff as well. They might be able to tolerate a range of different textured foods. They can possibly drink from a cup. They can use their tongue to move food around their mouth once they start eating solids. They can hold a bottle or a cup independently by 12 months, and they're able to feed themselves small pieces of food, finger food. So like I mentioned earlier in the video, things like Cheerios or baby safe cereals, maybe cut up fruits and stuff like that as well. Anything that they can hold. By 2 years of age, they are able to distinguish between edible and inedible objects. They're able to imitate adult behavior. They're starting to engage in imaginative play by 2, as well as they are able to understand common dangers such as hot objects, stairs, glass. They're able to tolerate a diaper change. They will start to attempt to brush their teeth. They're not going to be good at it, but they are going to start to attempt it. They will start to remove their own shoes and their own socks, and they're able to cooperate with dressing by extending their arms and legs for you. By 3 years of age, they will start to begin to really be able to brush their teeth. They're able to use the toilet with assistance, and they're able to have daytime control. They're able to wipe their face and their hands with a napkin. They're able to distinguish between urinating and a bowel movement, and they might be able to name them correctly. Now they're fully engaged in pretend and imaginative play. They're able to tolerate a wide range of different textured foods, and they're able to express their emotions, look at a book as well. And they'll also be able to feed themselves simple meals using a spoon or a fork. Between 3 and 4 years, they are now able to unbutton large buttons. They're able to feed themselves independently. They're also now able to toilet independently as well. And they also know where familiar items are kept, such as plates, bowls, utensils, cups, and things like that. They're also better at taking turns, and then they can dress and undress themselves with assistance, especially around the buttons, laces, and other fasteners. And finally, at around the ages of 4 and 5, not only are they able to dress themselves independently, toilet themselves independently, feed themselves without difficulty, they are also able to independently pack items away, and they're able to follow rules, know where familiar items are kept, just like in the 3 to 4 year age. They are also able to choose weather appropriate clothing as well.
So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys picked up on a few strategies, or maybe it's just confirmation that the strategies you're currently doing at home are the ones that work for you and your family. As always, if you have any questions or concerns around this topic or any other child development topic, you can always contact me. My contact information is in the description box below. As well, follow us on Facebook, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!